Monday. Okay, so I've done a few things. We've got a dialogue delivery system starting to come together. I also did a gacha animation. Can't show that like that. I've got to take my itchy pills. I have a new gacha animation for the new theme. Now it's the same theme as before, but instead of going koala guide, we've gone clover guide. Okay, so I think that works. I'll probably add some more to it. That's like, I don't know if I want to do an Infinity Nikki type thing. This feels like a very Infinity Nikki, I've got to admit. Well, that's fine because Nikki will be EOS by the time my game comes out, so nobody can accuse me of copying because no one will remember what it is by then. Let me see it again. I need to do a 10 pull result. At the moment, this just handles a single pull result. The result needs to show a little bit earlier because it's supposed to be on the little bubbly sound. Yeah, I need to do a 10 pull result. Could be kind of tricky. So this is the result here. These nodes here are the results, so it wants to be a little bit earlier. Okay, let's try that. So the timing's better. Her eyes should go on the bing. Maybe I should make it bing like faster. Much better. Much better on the result timing. Okay, the issue I have is when her eyes go bing, the animation for the eyes takes too long and it's not quite lined up as well as I want it to be. Right, so like the timing's kind of about right. Is that the eyes? Yeah, that's the eyes there. Glowing. So that's from here to here. I don't know if it's early or is it early or late? Let's see it again. Let's see it again. I'm too early. I think it's going to do it earlier than it does, so this is what's throwing me off. I think it's going to go bing, but it goes bing. It's like 2 beats later or something. Let's see it again. Yeah, no, I think I think it actually does kind of line up. It does kind of line up, but it's too slow. So the bing, it does seem to be on time, actually. So there's the glowing transition. So that node needs to just come this way a little bit so it happens much quicker. Let's see what that looks like. still early in my brain. My brain still thinks it's going to be earlier. That seems okay. Okay. So now we need... We need 2 animations. Okay, so what we do, here's what we do. So that's anim gacha, right? We'll call it anim gacha S for single. And then we'll duplicate that. And then we'll do M for multi. And we'll start with the single animation. So we have a single animation and a multi animation. And then this here has result, right? This needs to be result single. No, I could have I could have a single animation, and then I just disabled the game object for the result that it isn't. I could do that. I could do that. Also, if I do that, that's going to break that animation, because the animation won't be able to find result anymore, because it'll be result S. Right, I think I know what the problem is. Right, okay, just a minute. Yes, I do need to do that. I need a result single and a result multi. I wasn't originally going to do a multi-pull, but then I realized if I don't do multi-pulls, then it's going to take quite a while for onboarding to get the player to a full team. I don't know. I still don't know if I'm doing multis or not. Because you start with one character, right? Then you learn the battle mechanics. Then you're going to get your first free pull. That one's going to be the rigged one, whatever. And then you're still going to be in tutorial learning how to like build teams and do maybe one of the other class types. And from then that point forward, you start getting like actual random characters. But I feel like the problem with that is your first battle is going to be a single character, and then your second battle is going to have 2 characters in it if I only do single pulls, and then maybe a couple of battles later you get the 3rd character, and a couple of battles after that you get your 4th character. That would be fine, but I feel like it would be a lot more exciting if you just did a 10 pull right off the bat and it just taught you about team building and everything right there and then. Right, so the way we need to do it is we need an animator on the image obtain, right? And we do animation controller for image obtain, and we assign that animation controller to the image obtains. And then what we do is on the image obtain animator, we give that the animation of the reveal. Because then that way, when we do multis, we just replay that animation over and over again for each result. And then we display like a summary. Why is that not going where I want it to go? What the fuck? Unity. There, finally. Okay, so our first keyframe wants to be And we've got two, so I'm very confused right now. Let's turn one off. Okay, our very, very first keyframe wants to be like that. And then within however many we reveal like this, we take it to 0x. So we have now we could do a zoom as well. I could also do a fade. So we could do start from alpha 0, fade it up as we reveal. That way we could also attach a sound to this, right? So it could be like whoosh or something. Some kind of reveal sound. Okay, the animation wants to be a not looping animation. Image obtain not looping. Alright. So now when this game object gets activated, the reveal will happen by itself. And then if I want to change the reveal animation, I can change the reveal animation. So then what I do is I go into my original animation, which was doing the reveal here, which is now missing, by the way, which is great. Are we missing the keyframes? The reveal, I guess, was here, between here and here. So what we need to do now is make a note of what frame that is. That is frame 768. Remove property, remove property, remove property. We now want to, right. Well, it's kind of tricky actually. Yeah, no, here's what we can do. Here's what we can do. What we do is we turn the image off and then we turn the image on. We turn the image off and then we turn the image on. Then we go back to the beginning and we turn the image off. And we turn the image off. Now what that will do is at the right point... Shit, was I recording? Fuck, I wasn't recording. Right. Oh, you fucking twat. Oh, you son of a fucking bitch. Right, 768 wasn't it? I don't fucking remember. It's like somewhere around here. It kind of been 7. Maybe it was 768. Maybe it was after she. What happened to the rainbow? Is the rainbow on the result? Oh, we lost our fucking rainbow as well. All our timing is gonna be fucked now. Right, I gotta do it all over again. Right, basically. Basically, what we do is at the beginning of the frame, we grab result S and we put a keyframe in for alpha 0, result M, and we put a keyframe in for alpha 0. Then we go up to where we want our reveal and we put a keyframe at alpha 0 again, and then we put a keyframe at alpha 0 again. Then for the duration of the fade, we want to turn alpha up to full. What is happening? Did it not go further into the keyframe? We turn both those backgrounds on because what we'll do is we'll set it up so that depending on whether it's a single or a multiple, we'll just activate or deactivate the parent. Oh, you're making me so mad, Unity. What the fuck are you doing? Right, I already said, right, it overwrote that keyframe value. You fucking piece of shit. I swear to God, that is not what I told you to do. Right, do what I tell you. key alpha 0, then later in the animation, this is what I did last time, but for some reason you decided not to fucking move the timeline or snap it back or something, because I remember doing it and it fucked everything up. Right, and it still fucked it up. Why is it fucking it up? Oh my god, this is making me so fucking mad. What's this fucking piece of shit? That shouldn't even be in there. Right, okay. Zoom it out. So now we should get the animation, the glow, the roll away, the fade, and then we activate. What we do now is we activate the game object of image obtain, because it's a child. Oh my god, will you record my animation? Why has it been such a pain in the ass today? Fuck you. It's not doing it. It's when I do that, it's supposed to stay on there. Fucking asshole. Right, look at that. I don't know why it's been such a fucking wanker today. Right. Now, look, it's not supposed to do that. Oh yeah, I know why. It's because it's got a fucking animator on it. Oh shit, it's got its own animator on it. Oh no, this ruins everything. How can I lock? Maybe I can lock where I can lock the panel. I can lock this panel. So let's lock this panel. Go to record. Right, I see what's happening is because it's got an animator on it. It thinks I want that animator, but I actually fucking don't. Right, okay. So go to image obtain. There we go. Now we're in this panel. Now we want to activate that. Wait, not that. Where is it? That? Yeah, it is. It is that. Why does that say it's off though? I don't think it's letting me do it because it didn't add the keyframe. I wonder if you can't. Maybe you can't have animation keys for a child object if it has its own animator. If that's the case, then this kind of ruins my entire setup. Oh, you fucking asshole. Seriously? Can we not activate and deactivate that? Oh, wait a minute. No, hang on. We didn't lock. I know what's happening. We locked this panel so it was still showing us that one. Image obtain. There we go. Image obtain on, and this image obtain on. Right. Now our keyframe. One frame before. So we'll do 720. At 720, we need to make sure those images are off, so that the image instruction to turn the image on happens at that exact frame. There it is. And then when the animation state machine wakes up for that, it will automatically play the reveal animation. And then all we do is we activate or deactivate one of the parent controls for single or for multi. So we can test that. So let's test single first. So unlock that. So what should happen is the animation, and we need to check the timings and everything. Okay, something weird happened. When the animator... Right, I think I know what's happening. It takes the animator a little while to grab a hold of it, so we see a little flicker because we see it before it plays the first animation frame. So the way we fix that is we alpha 0 it. Well, let's tilt it over. We put it in its starting position, and we alpha 0 it in the inspector. That way, when we play it and it gets activated, yeah, the timing's slightly off. But what we're looking at now is the image obtained for a single. Now, if I disable single and activate multi and then run it, we should just see the multi result. And then we can put some slideshow type code on multi that will iterate through each result. There you go. We're looking at result medium image of 10. Perfect. Perfect. Well, it's not perfect. The timing's all fucked. Let me just get... Yeah, actually, that is true. Let me see it again. The timing was kind of... I mean, it doesn't look terrible. I feel like the reveal is a little too early. So now we have one animation, right? Also, we can delete, because there's no separate animation. I'm going to get confused. So that is... Which one are we using right now? It says Anim Gacha, but it's using Anim Gacha S. So let's rename Anim Gacha S back to Anim... Fuck you. Back to Anim Gacha. And we'll delete M. Because there is no separate multi-animation. They're both handled by the same animation. Otherwise I'll get confused in the future. Right, so there's the reveal. That's where we activate. You don't see it anymore because you sort of see a little line that represents it, right? You see it down here. The reason you don't see it anymore is because we had to start it in its hidden position so that we didn't get that weird little jitter when it came on. But the nodes are here, so if we want to, all we need to do is if we want to delay the reveal slightly. In fact, I might want to make that fade a little bit more. Yeah, let's grab from here to here and let's just stretch it out a little bit. And it's just going to be trial and error until I feel like it feels good. So let's drag it to 1230. Let's try 1230. That one is much better. The little is like almost like is the thing growing and revealing itself. Good morning, Canthia. Yeah, I think that timing is much better. Much better. All right, let's just see it again one more time. What I might also do is I'll probably add a few more effects to the animation overall. And I might do something, I know it's Infinity Nikki, but Infinity Nikki will be EOS by the time my game comes out, so it'll be fine. And what I might do is, I know it's Infinity Nikki, but I might add like a rainbow if it's a 5-star. Like I'll add some kind of little reveal, little hint if it's a 5-star somewhere as well. But for now, let's get the multi-result sorted out. Right, so if we turned multi-result on at the moment, we simply show image obtain. But what we can do is we could do a little script on result M that lets us slideshow through different results, right? Multi-results. So the way we do that is we'll go into scripts, core. Yeah, I've got some firework. I've got some firework particle effects actually. Yeah, well you've seen them for Miko, haven't you? So I could use that. There's lots of things I could use. I'll figure it out. So I'm just going to create a C# script called multi-results, and we'll stick multi-results on result M. Hasn't compiled yet. taking its sweet ass time. Okay, multi-results. So we know we're doing a 10 pull. So what we'll do is we'll have a system collections generic, and that is going to contain a list of images. So texture 2Ds results equals a new list of texture 2Ds. And what will happen is we'll trigger the on enable. When the animator triggers that result, we'll trigger the on enable. And then simply all we need to do in on enable is we will have an index driver. So our index is going to be result index equals 0. And on enable, we'll just reset that in case it's not the first 10 pull. So we'll say result index equals 0. Then in update, we want to say if, we might want to put a little cooldown on here. So we'll do a private float of last click. And we'll say if time since level load minus last click is greater than 0.13f or something. This is just to make sure the player doesn't accidentally click through more results than they intended to. So it's good to put a little cooldown on. Then we can note our new last click. We can say result index plus plus, and we'll call an update result show next result. Show next. Fuck. Why aren't you? What are you doing to me, you fucking piece of shit? Right, show next. So now we can make a void show next, which is just gonna say get. It's actually transform.find. Well, since this is, we'll do a private transform image result. So we can say image result. In on enable, we want to say image result equals transform find, and it's image obtain dot get components raw image. I'm not sure why I made that a transform actually. There we go. Image result dot texture equals results at position result index. We want to deactivate the game object and then activate it again, which will trigger the animation to play again. Alright, so the way that will work is we will fill the results manually. So we know it's a 10 plus, so it should always have 10 results. It's a little hard to test right now because I've only got one example image, but that's fine. Oh yeah, I filled that one. There it is. So sadly, our results are all going to need to be the same boring gacha result because we don't have anything else. I mean, just to make sure it's working, I'll put some of these extra weird images in it just so we know that it's working, I guess. Alright, so let's play it, see if that works. hopefully that should be our first result. I forgot, what am I doing? Yeah, I forgot to say get last mouse. I forgot to say get left mouse button down. Alright, left mouse button down, and we're past our cooldown. There you go. And we're getting our results. Now we might want to do like a summary. We can do a little animation where we like, you know, where it summarizes and puts them in a grid and just gives you like an overview of what you got. And we can put a little sound on this, a little reveal sound. That could be good. Right, I ran out of, right, something went wrong. I got out of range exception. Oh, I didn't limit it, did I? Yeah, I just said keep going up. So I need to say, so this is where we would say last click times as a result, and then here we would say if result index is less than results.count, then do that. Else, and this is where we'll show like summary, we'll call it a summary. So we've got show next, and then we'll do show summary. Okay. Why isn't it like that? Wait, what? Only assignment, call, increment, decrement, await, and new object expressions can be used as a statements. Of course, right, there we go. Show summary. So, show summary, we need a summary control. So what we'll do is we'll create a new game object. We can make an empty game object, and we'll call it summary. And this is going to have a grid control on it, grid layout view. So let's just grab some raw images. Actually, what we could do, if we say result, if we call it results and we just keep duplicating it, we'll get result 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. And then for now, let's just give these all the same texture. Okay. Are we looking at the back of this? No, we're not. We're looking at the front of it. Okay. So now we can start to move this where we want it. Okay, so spacing, I don't know, 32 by 32. So a good thing to do is we know the image size, right? We even wrote the image size on the image itself, which is 700 by 900. So if we actually make it 700 by 900 per result, and then say we want, I don't know, a row count of 2, then what we can do is go to our result grid and scale it to fit. And we know they're the correct aspect ratio. However, we would normally know that the correct aspect ratio, but I think right now Unity is doing some weird. Yeah, and this happens with some. I don't know why it fucking does that. This happens with some projects where the UI has like a weird squishy thing going on. I think I have it on this project. I'll deal with that separately though, because it's hard to really do anything around that, and then just kind of like get a feel for where I want it to be. Okay. So something like that could be good. This will just kind of show you the summary of what you got. But I want boop, 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 like the reveal animation on each one of these, right? So we want an animator with the which one was it? Image obtain animator, because that has that particular thing on it. And then what we need to do is go to our result script, and we need to create another list. A list of a list, not quite. A list of raw images, which is going to be summary. I'll just link those real quick. I should have locked that, and then that way I can grab those and then just drop them onto the list. There we go. Beautiful. And then when we show a summary, we can do something very similar. We'll just go, well, we could just actually just do, might be better to put this in a core routine. So we need system collections, because then we can put timer. So let's make this a core routine instead. Show summary, and we can say while, and we don't want a while, we want a for each. We'll do for each raw image summary, image summary in summary. Okay, and we can do summary, image summary, game object, set active to false. Actually, that's the first thing we want to do. Okay, the reason why is we need to reset it from the last 10 pull. So the first thing we do is we reset it from the last 10 pull. So this goes in and turns all the child objects off. Then we want to say summary. Actually, we don't have a summary yet. We do, but it's like images. I need a public transform summary root. Right, then we say summary root dot game object set active to true. At the start, as we on enable, we need to make sure we set that to false as well, in case it was left open from the last one. Right, so now we've turned the parent object off. Then we can iterate through each image again, and this time we turn them on with a little wait. So we want to turn each one on, and we want to yield return new wait 4 seconds and whatever we think. So let's say 1/3 of a second. Right, then we need a function to say close. So I'll make a private bool can close equals false. Let's make sure we reset that at the start as well. And then what we'll do is once all these have finished, we'll set can close to true, and then here we'll say if can close else show summary, and if can close, then we just say this game object set active to false. All right. Let's test it. Oh, I didn't feed the images. Yeah, I also didn't feed the images. So as we disable the image, I also need to change the texture. So I need to say, okay, this is kind of fun. Image summary texture equals results at image index plus plus. Yeah, because we need to copy the results to this summary, otherwise we'll be showing empty summary or summary from the last one or whatever. That could go badly. That could go badly for a gadget company. It said I got another Deluxe, and I didn't. Why are you fucking lying to me? Oops, that was the results from the last one. Alright, there's our first one. Wait. What went wrong? Something went wrong. Multi-results, object reference not set to an image of an object. Image result dot texture equals results at result index. What? I don't understand. I see I forgot to set the summary row. That's at line 50 though. Oh my god, excuse me. There we go, it's working now. I don't know why that. Okay. And then it's just not doing anything on the next click. It's not doing anything on the next click. Oh, I know why. I changed that into a coroutine. So we need to say start coroutine. Show summary. I do wish it would show you an error for that though, because that's so easy to miss. I still don't understand why Visual Studio can't point that out to you. It's so weird. We need to hide. Okay, that looked a little glitchy as well. It looked a little glitchy, and also we need to hide the result. Turn off the previous result, the final result, because otherwise that is still shown and it looks kind of weird. But yeah, it did show the summary, but it also looked a little glitchy. So as I show summary, I guess I need to say on the image obtain, which we called on here image result. Alright, let's try that. Something weird's going on with it, and I don't know what. Oh wait, I wonder if it's grid layout that's doing that. Don't I just change the texture though and then replay the animation? So grid layout shouldn't really affect that. Just turn it off anyway and see if it's grid layout getting anywhere. It shouldn't be, because grid layout would only affect the number of objects, and we're not changing the number of objects. It was grid layout. There you go. It looks so much better. And then when we click again, it should close. Yeah. Now that'll close the entire gacha thing rather than just this, but that's fine for now. Okay, and our single should still do what single did. Yeah, we can't close. We haven't done the close function on single, but that's not too bad. Right. I need a little sound effect for the reveal, I think. It seems weird just being completely deadly silent. I want some kind of reveal. What happens if I do reveal sound effect? No. Why are these completely different results this time? What? Jesus. I mean, the second one was okay. That one, it's a little bit less cringe, but it's also a bit. It's not. I'm not in love with that. Logo reveal. Text sound effect reveal. It's not Outlast. It's not The Last of Us fucking gacha. The Last of Us gacha. Pull zombies. Pull your zombie boyfriend now. That's just THX fucking logo now. Fuck rabbit. You were who said that my fucking recommendations were going to be completely screwed up? Now, yeah, you were right. Angel sound effect. I did. What about this? Oh, here's your gacha result. I might have to go with that ding thing. No, not quite. Haven't we got any better ones than these? Why is it always that sound? Knife stab. Jesus Christ. I didn't hear anything. I don't think YouTube's the answer. Free sound effects reveal. Well, maybe I need to search for like chime or something like that. Chime sound effect. A treasure chest opening sound effect. Maybe if there was a treasure chest in the actual gacha animation, but there isn't. Like, I get more, like, I think the chime makes a bit more sense because it's all like rainbow and cutesy little, you know, mascot thing. But it's not a bad idea on its own. It's just there's no. It would make more sense if there was actually a treasure chest involved in the animation. Well, because there isn't, I think it might just sound a bit weird. That wrong kind of chime. Maybe chime isn't the right word. Futuristic UI. What's this? Magic sparkle. Yeah, level up sound might work. It's not quite what I want. Maybe ding sound of it. I don't know. We're not in an airport. Attention! You just won a gacha 4-star. Thank you. Please make sure your seatbelts are fastened for the next gacha pull. I don't want you falling out of your chair. Thank you. Yeah, like, that's just, it's fucking airport sounds. Eerie chime, big bell. What if I just do like happy, cute, happy celebrate sound effect? Yeah, way too long. Like, I just need like. Who makes these weird fucking songs? Yeah, no, not it. Level up sound effect. It's like somebody drove into your garage and knocked the bell. Try this one, let's see. Yeah, that's close, definitely closer to where I kind of want to be. It's a little bit long. See, I like this one because it's so short. It's like literally like a second. Now I could cut it down, but I'm also worried about the quality. Yeah, I know I can cut it down, but it's... I don't know what it'll sound like. I'm not... I know I'm very fussy with these things, but it's because when you put this much work into a project, you really want everything to be, you know... You want to feel good about everything. But we are getting closer, and I appreciate your help. But like, you'll see that I reject like 99% of my own findings because I'm just such a fussy little shit. What the hell is that? Yeah, I don't know, two. Honestly, I think this is more like what I one of these I think might be what I want. In fact, I even think that first one might work perfectly. Because it's just like, you know what I mean? It's just going to be for each reveal. So it wants to be like really short, really subtle. That to me sounds like it could actually... And even then, I'm not sure until I actually try it. But I have a good feeling about that first sound. Yes, like when I did her voice thing, I had to really fuck around with that to get it. And I'm still not... It's alright. I think it is quite good. Have you heard the voice, by the way? Just like that one fit your game well. Not yet. Oh, I can show you. It's not bad. There we go. I think this is the one I want. You're the one that I want. Alright, so I can just make sure it's centered. Save selection. MP3, iDLE sounds. Here we go. We'll do gacha result. I guess gacha reveal. Well, either would have been fine actually. Okay, now what I can do is add. Yeah.
I've rang about Bill. Where is it?
Hang on, let me mute that. Right, let's hear it. Yeah, it's got a more futury sound as well, like that music. Oh, I did a single, so shit. Okay, I did a single. I need to do a multi. Oops, my bad. I accidentally did a single. Yeah, I think I like that. Yeah, I think that's great. And then I'll probably just leave that part silent. Yeah, that's brilliant. Brilliant. Yeah, let me, I'll show you the talking as well. What do I need to turn on for that? I've got so many things here now. Canvas is off. Wait, isn't that all part of Gotcha? That's all part of Gotcha. So it's core that I want on. There we go. Alright. Right, so she'll just kind of like, I think there's something slightly creepy, which is what I wanted, something slightly creepy about it. Sounds like Sims. Yeah, well that's kind of what I was going for. Yeah, that's kind of what I was going for. It's really weird. I like it though. I think I'm really happy with how it turned out. Really good. And I've got thank you. And you can talk to her as well. Except I won't be revealing that until like later in the game. But yeah, and I've set it up so that like it doesn't matter how long. The way it works is it'll while the text's typing, it'll play the talk animation and it'll cycle through those voice sounds. And then when the typing stops, then she stops like animating to it basically. So that means that like I can literally say, "Hello, Clover. How are you today?" Because I have no idea how long it's going to go on for, it'll just handle itself. It's all coming together really well. I think it's pretty cool. Because what I'll probably do as well is I'll send some like requests through the GPT at certain gameplay points. Understood you? Yeah, it's connected to ChatGPT. So, you know how like Miku has a chatbot? Yeah, she's got a chatbot as well. So I created a chatbot for her, and so the player can actually. Now the reason she did that is because when I press left click, it moves on to the next piece of dialogue. But yeah, I can say anything I want. Like what animal are you? And she knows I've described. That's a delightful question. You could say I'm a whimsical mix, like a playful bunny with a sprinkle of cow charm. My floppy ears and pigtails give me a unique flair, don't you think? So she's aware of what she looks like. Which is really cool, I think. And what's really creepy, and I never told her to do this, but the chatbot, I've never seen a chatbot try and engage in conversation as much as she does, which is really interesting because I never really told her to do that. But she ends every single interaction with a question and asking the player to answer a question, which is kind of like encouraging more engagement all the time. So she'll always end with like, you know, what do you think of this? Or ask you a question so you have something to respond to back to her, which is actually really cool. I'm thinking about it. I could have put that in the prompt, but I actually didn't. Answering question. Yeah, she's like she's always wanting to engage in somewhere, which I think is pretty cool. Do you have a favorite animal? Yeah, so these lines of dialogue here, these are coming from my tutorial narrative system, my story system. But then, because she's just a self-contained system, when I send a message off to the chatbot, what's the favorite food? Oh, what type of food do you like? Fresh carrots, juicy apples, and maybe a sprinkle of clover here and there. They might be a warm, sunny days. Yeah, I think it's done a really good job with the personality. So what I can do, because I like this personality in the chatbot so much, what I could even do is I don't necessarily have to have it all. I'm gonna mix chatbot interactions with like pre-written dialogue. So I could send a request saying, you know, the player just completed this dungeon, you know what I mean, and scored this. Send the chatbot some kind of like summary of what just happened in the game, and then say, you know, please speak to the player about it. And then I imagine, so my intended effect is that like you do really, really well in a dungeon, and then you come back to this main menu and it's like, oh wow, you really nailed it there, you know, whatever your profile name is. Wow, you really nailed it there, Canthia. Wow, you're getting so good at this game. What should we do next? And then, or then let's say you died in a dungeon, and then I could send that to the chatbot and say, oh, Canthia just died in the latest dungeon. Try interacting with them. Yeah? Alright, see you later. And then I imagine she'd say something like, you know, oh dear, that didn't go too well now, did it, Canthia? Well, don't worry, keep your chin up, we can go and try again. And then I don't even have to write any of that, she'll just do it automatically, and the chatbot will just do it for me. And I could do all kinds of things where, like, I can say, you know, today is this. And if I say today is December 25th, you know, and Canthia is playing the game, please greet them, they just logged in. I imagine the chatbot will be like, oh, Merry Christmas, Canthia, because, you know, it's aware that it's Christmas Day. And, like, again, I don't have to write any of that. It'll just feel like she's got a real, you know, like you're actually playing with. I think it's cool. It makes, because a lot of games do feel quite lonely, I think, like single-player games. Now, I am a bit of a loner, so I actually quite like being alone. But I do also like seeing where this kind of thing can go. I think it's interesting when a really good NPC can make games feel like you're actually, you know, playing like with an actual companion or something. So yeah, I guess that's one of the experiments with this too now, which wasn't originally supposed to be, but I think it's I'm liking the effect of it. It was a great idea. Yeah, I think it's I think it should be fun, should be good. Yeah, there's all kinds of things I could do, because like I can send the chatbot all the data, right? I can say, right, Canthia, I can say Canthia has this in their inventory. Try recommending a good gear piece, and then when you pull, I could even do that, like, because she can talk about the gacha results as well, right? So we can do a gacha poll, and then I can tell the chatbot, by the way, Canthia just got 5-star Esmeralda, right, who's a great breaker. And then Clover could come back and say, oh, congratulations, Canthia, she's a really good breaker. Hey, why don't you try putting that new 5-star gear set on her, or whatever, you know what I mean, that you got yesterday. Because I can just constantly feed her data about your gameplay, like about the player's gameplay. And then hopefully, like, this is another thing I think it'd be good, is rather than having an annoying tutorial system that's like constantly in your face teaching you stuff, my idea is to feed it my wiki, for the game, so that if you say to Clover, oh, how do I equip gear, or where do I farm brake gear or whatever, then she can go, okay, there's an article like this in the wiki for the game, and then she'll just reply and say, oh, you just need to farm the so and so dungeon, you know what I mean, by clicking in this and that, and she could just regurgitate some of the wiki's information, so the player doesn't even have to go searching for it. And it'll just feel like, you know, you've got this helpful assistant and sort of friend along the journey with you. I think it could be fun. I want a game that's close, maybe Honkai Impact 3rd, home screen talk. Oh yeah, the way they had Brussels sprout. Yeah, kind of. That makes sense, because that's the kind of thing that she is. She's meant to be like a, you know, an in-game, a sort of game guide. What is your favorite color? Yeah, I thought she'd pick blue because she knows that she's got blue. Yeah, it's always good to describe to AI, like especially if you want a character like this, it's always good to include a good description about what the character is. Yo would be more life like that would blow judges' minds. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they'll even know though. Then maybe they will. It depends if they engage with that kind of thing. And it depends how long they play for as well, I guess. Yeah, possibly. I think it's pretty good. I wonder, since we're already in Google Chrome, you'd have to run a proxy though. There might even be a way to get the voice recognition working on the web page as well, and have it. I could do like a little microphone icon or something next to her. And if you click it, it'll say, you know, do you want to connect your mic to Clover so you can speak to her with your microphone? I don't know. That might be going a bit too far, but that could be fun. That could be tricky though, because the proxy needs to run. Yeah, there's little software. The proxy has to run little software on the machine, which you can't do in WebGL, and then you'd need like a second tab open that runs that. You could use something API like the thing that I'm using now, but it gets expensive. So yeah, you could do it if you had like a paid service that would do that for you. I would keep it as it is. Yeah, I think it's fine. I'm just curious. Like I like when I first did this, I wasn't sure that the whole GPT thing would work in the web browser. And then when I saw how good that felt, I was like, actually, that feels really good. To just like go into a game on the website, and then you can just talk to this little character. I'm like, actually, that seems really, really good. And then I thought, and if I could link it to the wiki, then players could just ask her if they get stuck in the game, and she can just guide and help the player. I think that's really good. But then yesterday, I had to check if I was secure. Because yeah, web is weird because a lot of stuff gets exposed on the web through like developer consoles and stuff. So yeah, I had to like tighten down security for it. So I have to send it to a proxy that I made yesterday for it, so that it still works and it doesn't expose like my API keys and stuff. But yeah, it works pretty good. It has, because I can be quite smart about these things. It has, because it's free. If it doesn't receive any requests for 15 minutes, it like shuts down basically, and then it takes a whole minute to come back up. Now the problem is if you want to speak to Clover and she takes a whole minute to come back up, you might have already assumed that it's just not working. So what I sneakily do is when the game starts, I ping that server and wake it up to say, hey, it plays in the game now, wake up, you might get some chat requests. And now it's like pretty responsive all the time. And I've got a timer that every 14 minutes, if somebody's in the game, it'll just keep the server awake by sending a ping. And it just keeps it, yeah, it keeps it like responsive. So I've even solved that as well. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah, that's what that is there. Render ping successful at 10:37. Just sent another one to keep it alive. I did some StarRail this morning, but I still wasn't able to get my 50/50. I did the new Simulated Universe reset, and there's a new, like, what do they call it? That one with the stupid woman in the dress, and you go and do all those levels. I did like all of those. And in total, I must have done about 6 or 7 pulls, but I still didn't trigger the 50/50. Oh, I've got it. Yeah, it's got to be like the any pull now. But I think we get like 3 for logging in tomorrow. So hopefully it'll be then. Because I want to save like the story and stuff until after I find out I'm getting her. Because ideally what I'd like is to build her, get her and build her, and then like go on and like, you know, use her in the story and stuff. It'd be fun. It just reset now. Yeah, I did it this morning. I've been awake since like 6 a.m. I couldn't get back to sleep. Well, everything that's going on right now, stepdad's in the hospital and everything. And mind you, he sounds a bit better. My mum spoke to him this morning, but like it's been really bad. He's just gone through like cancer treatment, which is like just got through the last one of those, like a spine injection thing, and he's really old and it's really took a lot out of him. And now he's bloody. Now he came down with some infection. They still haven't given us answers. They think it might be a water infection, but he's already like started showing signs of dementia, and it's like made it really bad. So he's just been like completely unresponsive for like a week now. But yeah, it sounded like he was a bit more lucid today. So hopefully. Yeah, because we're worried about, like, well, there's 2 sides of it. Like, worried about his physical recovery, but I think he'll physically recover because they've got him on really strong antibiotics. But he's just, like, completely, like, you can't have a conversation with him. He's just, like, completely out of it. And he hasn't showed any signs of improvement until, I think, today. This sounds like this morning my mum was able to have a bit of a conversation with him, so that's good. That's a good sign. Right. But yeah, it's just a lot of worry, isn't it? Logo bell. Oh, I remember what that was. Yeah, that was for my my mats. Yeah, I might need a separate mat as well. Are we leveling? We need to level weapons as well, don't we? I might want to do that. I might want to do that now then and get it out the way before I delete all that stuff. Yeah, I got tons of things to stitch together now. I'm really happy with everything. Everything that I've got so far is looking really good. It's just stitching everything together now. And then I need to like work on the battle system, which will be the real challenge. But I couldn't really do the battle system until I had all my speed stats and everything. And most of which has come from armor, but some of it's going to come from weapons. And obviously characters as well. So much to do. That's weird because the logo's there. Oh, did I delete armor cube? No, it should still be there. I think maybe some of the maths got screwed up with the latest import. Maybe that's what happened. Possibly. No, that doesn't make a sense because I made a separate material for it. Oh, maybe the geometry got screwed up then. Sometimes the geometry gets screwed up on these imports if you don't rename them. Oh, I think that might be what happened. Yeah, missing mesh. Okay, I might be able to get that one to work. Right, so I've got materials for... I've got materials for skills. I've got materials for... What was the other one? Armor. I need materials for weapons now. Yeah, that mesh is just like a cube though, to be completely honest. So we've lost the rounded look. I should be alright though. Right, so now I guess I need to figure out, okay, what do I want the icons to be for weapon mats? Right, so let's go into the project. Yeah, so we've got 3 speeds of internet, which is how we level up skills. I think that was. It might be the other way around. Yeah, no, I think those level up armor, internet speeds. I have follows, likes, and subscribes, which level up player skills, because I think that makes more sense. And now I need something that represents weapon leveling mats. So let's think about this. So we've got internet speeds for armor, follows, likes, and subscribes for skills. For weapons, something aggressive when it comes to the internet, like super functional maybe. Let me think about this. Maybe what I need to do is look at what symbols we have in our Webdings fonts and things and see if that gives me any ideas. It's a bit big. Okay, they are terrible. Bodoni ornaments. Yeah, they're not really in line with the theme that I want either. So what else we got? We have this one. Girl characters. I guess, I mean, girls is obviously one of the themes, right? Like, it's our girls that go out to battle. Could we have I don't know. Could we maybe have like sports girls, small, medium? How do you quantify those though? About chess pieces? Yeah, I'd rather. I'm gonna try and keep it in line with the internet type stuff. So like the themes, what I'm trying to do is to keep it either like related to social media, or like internet or something like that. Because the essentially the theme of the game is like battling online discourse, trying to make the internet a better place and all this stuff is kind of the theme. So I'm trying to find something that I could, it's like vaguely connected. I could do like old school electronics, have like a telephone weapon. Kind of did that with dial up though. Telephone, a printer, and a fax machine or something like that. But I'm not in love with that idea. I could just use like emojis, I guess. Like I could call them like emoji weapon enhancers and have like a sad face for the small one, a medium face for the medium one, and then a happy face. Because it's emotes and it's like internet social media related, I guess. Okay, I'll call it Plan B if I can't find anything better. I might do that as like Plan B. Because it kind of lines up with, you know, online discourse and stuff. These were quite good. There's like gamepads and all kinds of things, but that's more to do with gaming really. Mouse. Not sure what they're supposed to be. Odds and sods. Silhouettes. This is more like this would be Snowbreak's leveling system. The bunny girl weapon enhance. How many You could do. I don't know. I'd rather stay away from that kind of theming though. I don't think I'll have anything currently. I think I need to find something new. But it's always good to start with what you've got. Yeah, I don't mind the idea of like a sad face for the small, a medium face, because then it's like you're quantifying it by states of happiness, and they are emotes, and emotes are used for like in online discourse, so it kind of like ties in quite nicely, I think. Yeah. Okay. So I guess I want to have a look for like some kind of emote font. Here we go. Yeah, even like in love, like find like 3 ways to quantify some of these emotes. Like, so the medium one could be like, I don't think, maybe sad shouldn't be one of them, because then it's like, you know, kind of sad is negative. We don't want to start from negative, but we could do the small one could be like, you know, just kind of neutral. like this one looks slightly happier, so like something like this could be like small is like, you know, not too bad for like feeling kind of. Or we could do the cool guy. We could do like this one for small, this one for medium, and then large is like just Mr. Cool, you know. It's like now I'm just trying to think of like naming distinctions. How would I name them though? So first, our small is, I would say, not sad, not happy, medium, smiling face, happy, large, sunglasses, cool. Alright, sometimes Ghibli can help me with stuff like this. Okay. I'm looking, well, I'll say it's time. It's time to create weapon leveling materials for my RPG game. Since the theme is battling online, battling negative online discourse, I'm going to use emotes, face emotes, to distinguish the sizes. Can you suggest some names for each that fit my theme for leveling up their weapons? Let's see what it comes up with. Sometimes it might not. Often it won't give me something that I like, but then it'll say something that triggers an idea in my head, and then I'm like, oh, okay. Okay, that's a great and clever theme. Yeah, stop blowing smoke up my ass. Okay, small neutral face. It suggests tone token, balanced bite. Reply residue. That's not bad. Reply residue. That sounds like something you'd get in Genshin Impact. Yeah, that's not bad actually. Reply residue. Okay. I might note that one down. Reply residue, question mark. And a medium, kindness kernel. Oh, that's pretty good actually. Good vibe bit. Wholesome spark. Oh, wholesome spark's good. Oh, wholesome spark's quite good actually. Because also it makes me think of like anvils, right? Like the spark of an anvil. Wholesome spark. Yeah, I like that one. Large, cool core, Zen circuit, confidence crystal, composure chip, respect reactor, shade drive, swag module. Not overly impressed with any of those. Cool car, Zen circuit, confidence crystal, composure chip. So if I went reply residue for the small, wholesome spark for the medium, reply residue, wholesome spark, something that's kind of in line with those. See, I'm thinking that the term epic fail comes to mind because it's like means big, right? But then fail has the opposite connotation for what I'm going for. So I'm thinking, can I get away with something like epic male? Because then that kind of is hinting at epic fail, but it's like something better. But I don't think that really works either. Epic male, epic. I'm also thinking like hype chain, which is a play on hype train or something like that, but I don't know if chain really makes sense for something that's just supposed to be a mat that levels up weapon. Hype chains. Something like that. Hype. Reply residue, wholesome spark. Blacksmithing terms. Damn it, I'm really close. It's just this third one I can't think of. Well, maybe we don't go with the sunglasses. But what's better than happy? We could use the angel and go for some like angelic anvil. I mean, that kind of works. Yeah, it's kind of like, it kind of... We could go with the angel. Angelic anvil. I'm not in love with it, but it makes sense. Angelic is something clever I can do. What were those other blacksmith terms? Let's see those again. Alloy. Angelic alloy. Oh, yeah, because alloy sounds more like a material, right? Angelic alloy. I like that better than angelic anvil. Or alloy of angels. And I think I like angelic alloy. It's kind of punchy. So reply residue, wholesome spark, and angelic alloy. Yeah, I think I like those. They're all kind of snappy and punchy. Okay. I think we've got it. Reply residue, wholesome spark, angelic alloy. Okay, now I'm going to ask Jupiter to give me some descriptions. I've decided on the following. Can you write some fun descriptions for me? Excellent choices. You've got a great progress going. Each of them ties perfectly into the theme of transforming online energy into personal power. Here are some fun, flavor-rich descriptions for each. Reply residue. The digital dust left behind from countless neutral takes and non-committal comments. Not hot, not cold, just there. Useful in small amounts for forging. Beginner upgrades when you need a bit of meh to move forward. That's actually really good. Wholesome spark, a flicker of pure radiant energy that's been gently hammered into shape on the anvil of kindness. It crackles with genuine good vibes, capable of empowering weapons with uplifting force. Angelic alloy. Forged from the condensed essence of divine discourse, where all replies are supportive, well articulated, and oddly serene. This radiant metal is rare, shimmering with the light of near-perfect online behavior. They're actually really good. Yeah, I like those. I will add those to my little list. Yeah, they're pretty good. One spark of wholesomeness can ignite an entire thread of hope. Shit, I put the wrong one in the... That was supposed to be angelic alloy. And that is wholesome spark. And this one is reply residue. Weapon upgrade materials. I like the little tagline quotes as well. Okay, looking good, looking good. So we need to get that font that I was looking at. If I can find it. There it is. And we install that. And we load SketchUp. And we do need to find what letter we're using to bring it up. So that one is... Shit, what was that font called, actually? Emoticons or something, wasn't it? There it is. Alright, so we can grab our angel, our angel. You're my angel in the morning, angel. Oh no, oh wait, no, it's because I don't have the font selected. Just touch my cheek before you leave me, baby. Just call me angel in the morning, angel. Okay. So we have emote angel. I think that's a good one for the like mediocre one, even though he's got his eyebrows. He just looks kind of like not impressed, but also not too upset about it. Yeah, originally I was going to do this one because the eyes look happier. I just think this one's funnier. It just looks funnier. Okay, so we'll do emote. Neutral, I guess, is what he's meant to be. He looks more perplexed than anything. Just touch my cheek before you leave me, baby. Just call me angel. That just looks weird. You can't see my camera's in the way. There's one that looks a little bit weird. Yeah, I think I want this one as the happy face. Happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy. Okay, so now we convert all of these into 3D models that we can use in Unity. Oh, yes, I did, didn't I? I made a little folder for them, which I should be using. Naughty, naughty. Use your folders like a good boy. Yeah, I am terrible at these things, and then I always regret it because like at some point I need to like change something and I'm like, why didn't I keep it? So I'm trying to get better at doing shit like this, but I am bad at it. All right, there they are. We've got Happy, Mr. Happy. He's so happy all the time. He's so happy. So an iDLE models, I guess. Emote happy. Yeah, that should be fine. Successfully exported. Was that happy? Why did we start with happy? I don't know. It was the first one to show up. This one is Angel. Export. Okay. Beautiful. And now neutral. Is there anyone left? We did not do. We sent to him. And then back in Unity, we should be able to get rid of these logos now. I will keep just call me angel of the morning, angel. I'll keep the bell just so that we've got a position reference. That's what I was going for. Position, if I could remember words. If I could remember how to speak. I'm so tired. I barely got any sleep last night. Just call me angel. I can't see it. Where are you? I could see you before where I placed you. Okay, these physical references don't mean shit. I don't even know where that went. Oh, there it is. There it is. Also, why is it so fucking dark? Why is it so fucking dark, eh? Did someone turn the lights on, eh? That's the wrong transform. See, I should have started with... Oh no. I should have started with my purple one because I've already got the purple colour set. This is true. Truer than true. Well, I guess I could put my neutral and my happy in the scene. Copy the transform. Give it to those both at once. Give it to me. Give it to me, boy. So in order of effectiveness, I guess it would be neutral, happy, and angel. And what is the purple one? The purple one is the big one in mine. Yeah. Okay, so in that case, that is a good purple one. That is a good. So we'll grab that for our weapon upgrade. I'm seeing some weirdness going on here though. What's with that glitchiness? It's fine. We can fix that up in post. Oh my god, I sound like Steven Spielberg. We can fix that up in post, guys. Don't worry about it. We can fix it up in post. Because what we can do is we can get the airbrush tool here. And then we just draw it there. There we go. Fixed. Oh, I think it was supposed to be a reflection, but I didn't like it being in the middle of the face. As it kind of looked... I don't know, it just looked like a big bowl of wrong to me. Big bowl of wrong. Big bowl of rice and wrong. Rice and wrong. Rice ain't wrong. Rice is good. I like rice. Egg fried rice is the best. Make my own egg fried rice. Really, really nice. I haven't made my own egg fried rice in a while. Egg fried rice. Egg fried rice, yeah. Okay, we want to change the material to a Lego material. Because I'm living in a material world and Unity has materials everywhere. You know that this is living in a material world. Okay, cube grey. So we need to change that one. Right, let's check our colours. So we need a yellow for the medium. Yellow me, baby. Yellow me all day. That looks like a completely different yellow, doesn't it? I like that yellow. How do I get that yellow back? We just put it there as reference. I'm trying to make it look like that yellow. It's more fucking green. It's a very specific yellow, that, isn't it? It reminds me of something from my childhood, but I can't think what it is. Like some kind of candy I used to eat or something like that. I'm sure it does. It's about as good as it gets, I think. And then our green is absolutely delicious. That green reminds me of, and I don't know why, it just reminds me of these like industrial signs, you know, like, I don't know. It looks like it's just such an official looking green, do you know what I mean? Like, it feels like the kind of green, like you wouldn't find that green. I don't know, there's just something very official looking about it. That's that. I don't know how else to explain it. We are living in the material world. It's got a little bit of blue in there. That's what it is. It's got just enough blue. I think that's our boy. That's the boy. And this is our shite one. It's our shite one. So it is. So it is. Is that one? Hang on, let me just be consistent. I don't know whether the size is affected because Unity is normally maximized. And I like consistency above everything else. Consistency is king. Oh, aim and armor. S meant skills, so W is weapon, I guess. I'm just going to call it weapon 1, weapon 2, weapon 3. Because I don't know why we put the names in the file name anyway. That's not really a typically necessary thing to do. Don't know what I was smoking that day, but it sure must have been good. Sure must have been strong. Yeah, I'm liking this a lot because now we've got consistency. You know how I feel about consistency. So green is always going to be, it's a much brighter yellow than the other ones, but that's fine. Green is always going to be the is that one the small, the green one? Yeah, green is small, yellow is medium, and purple is large. It's just the way it turned out. I kind of wish I'd done it slightly different. I feel like in terms of like which color, although I suppose the yellow does look quite nice. I don't know, I like the green though. Yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm just so tired. That's such a bad night's sleep. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. Now, I always regret deleting things. Now, so I should just leave them for now. I can't stop burping as well. I'm burping. I'm a burpy little bastard. It's a bit quiet on stream today anyway. I might just work offline. Oh my god. I don't know. I've forgotten what I was going to say something else as well. I've forgotten what I was going to say. Yeah, the reason I don't want to delete anything is I always find like there may be something I'm forgetting, but as far as I can tell, I have everything right. Characters aren't going to get leveled, well they are, but characters don't require leveling mats. I want the characters to just level with the player. So you're not going to need character leveling mats. But I want skills to be leveled. So we have our skill leveling mats here. I want armor to be manually leveled. I want weapons to be manually leveled. So I have 9 materials in the game, which I think is enough. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but I don't know. Like, I don't know where the game's going to end up. Who knows? You never know. I might end up giving everybody a fucking summonable Memo Sprite fucking Pokemon that fights or something. I would love to do that, but that's a lot of work. I probably won't. But if I did, I don't know. I never know what's around the corner. If I did, then I'd want, you know, you to have to manually level those up, and maybe I'd want some pet leveling material or something. And so I think that's why it's good to keep these things in the project for now, so that I can make new ones if I need to and be somewhat consistent. I mean, these aren't exactly hard to make. Fucking hell. Jesus Lord. I need to go. And what I need to do is make a cup of coffee, wake me up, because with the lack of sleep, I'm just feeling kind of like, ugh. Fucking knackered. Alright, I think I'll just work offline for a bit, because it's quiet anyway today, and yeah, I feel like it's one of those days where I can work on this, and I do want to work on this, but like I can't hyper focus on it because of how tired I am. So when I feel like this, what I tend to do is I tend to kind of just, you know, stick a bit of YouTube on, maybe a bit of music on, and just kind of work at my own pace, and just, you know, I can't really stream that though because I get copyright struck, and I think it would be even more boring than a normal stream because I might not necessarily be hyper focused on something, and I just take my sweet ass time doing things, you know, at my own pace. Which might be for the best because of how I feel today, and also because it's kind of quiet anyway, so might be a good day for that. For some reason these look like, now that I've zoomed out, oh, what are they remind me of something. I swear there was some weird game. What do they remind me of? I don't know. Too tight to think of it. I know there was some kind of brand of food that was like innocent, something that had a logo that pretty much looked like this. And that's what reminded me of. It was some kind of like innocent snack brand or something. It's probably a British thing. Let's see if I can find it. Innocent snacks. That's not what I was thinking of. Oh, what the fuck was that? It probably wasn't called Innocent. But it definitely had a logo like that. But it wasn't this. So it probably wasn't called Innocent. Or maybe it was a juice, wasn't it? Innocent juice. Yeah, or maybe this is what I'm thinking of, actually. That actually looks nothing like that. Well, I wouldn't say nothing like it, but it's not at all what I was thinking in my head. Yeah, this is what I was thinking of, innocent drinks. These were nice, actually. I used to get these all the time. Coca-Cola Company. Yeah, I used to get these all the time. These are quite nice, actually. But they're also like, as icons like this, they reminded me of some game, but I can't think what it was. I have a feeling it was something maybe that was like a little bit naughty or something, you know, like it had probably had some like fucking, I don't know, stripper girls in it or something. I could be wrong because I played a couple of weird games like that, like especially in VR. I was curious how people are using VR, and you get a lot of games like that in VR. This is like weird strip club game or something. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Or maybe I'm thinking of Second Life or something like that. Something I can't quite link in my mind right now, but it's like giving me that kind of vibe. Yeah, it's a shame, I think. Jesus Christ. I think VR has so much potential. But like no one's like, I don't know, nobody's making anything. I don't know, that gets the most out of that potential, I don't think. I often try to imagine like what would a VR gacha game look like. Probably ultimate hell. Like, especially if Hoyo made it. Jesus. That sounds terrifying. But also kind of, I don't know, there's a sick side of me that almost wants to make it. I mean, oh my god, you know where it would end up. It depends who made it, right? Like, if Snowbreak made a VR gacha game, it'd be like the fucking most goonery fucking. Jesus Lord, can you imagine that? However, having said that, I think a game, you know what would be a really good game? Would be Nikke in VR. A really good fucking game, gacha game in VR would be something like Nikke. Because I find Nikke kind of dull and pointless. But if you put on a VR headset, right, and you shot with like an aim controller, well, that would make, because it's a shooting game, right? That would make shoot, and you are sat still, right? So if you were like with the girls, or you controlled one of the girls or whatever, right? And you were seeing things from their perspective, or even if you just were like looking at them through a window or something like that, and it just plays pretty much the same way it does now, but it all looks like you're actually there, and you know you're in 3D and stuff. I feel like that would be an awesome kind of game, because they're like short bursts of like battles. You've got shooting, so you could have auto mode or manual mode. I think a VR would work really well for a game like that. I don't think it'd work for any of the Hoyo games. Yeah, the two games that come to mind that I think would work well in VR would be Uma Musume, because you're just watching horse girls race each other. So that could be a good one if you were sat in the fucking stadium and it looked like you're at the racetracks and you just see your fucking favourite anime girls racing in the fucking racetrack and it feels like you're there. That would be awesome as well, right? That kind of game as a VR game. And that's why I said Nikke as well, because Nikke, it's like you kind of just sat there watching girls shoot things, really, when you think about it. So I think that would be ideal for like VR. Something like that. I think one of the Neptunia games, yeah, I think it did. I think one of the Neptunia games had a VR mode, and I was hyped as fuck because I always wanted to see what a turn-based RPG would be like in VR. Somebody made one, but it was kind of trash, and it was more like an isometric, like you kind of just looked down on them while you were fighting things. That was kind of more grid-based and stuff. The Neptunia one, I think, was one of these stupid things where it had a VR mode, but the VR mode was like a Doki Doki mode thing, and it wasn't the actual game wasn't. You couldn't play the main game in VR, which sucked. Because I thought that would have been pretty cool, actually. Anyway, I'm waffling now. Yeah, I'm gonna go get a coffee, try and freaking wake up, because I feel like shit. And I'll just kind of work on this, like, at a slow pace. Maybe. The way I feel right now, I feel like fucking going back to bed and trying to get some sleep, but I doubt I would. It's too much on my mind. That's kind of what my body needs, though. I could never sleep during the day. Alright, I'm going to leave it there then. I will be on later on. Bye.